Guys, welcome to the stream. I think the quality should be better this time as far as the actual OBS settings and all that. It's at least up to 10. Well, it's going to be 1080p. That's about as high as it gets for live streaming on YouTube. But all right, man. I'm excited about streaming tonight. All right, I just checked out my sound. That's good. I believe we've got 9 mixes to go over, and yeah, drop a comment for sure. Just say hello. Let me know that you're in here. So I'm gonna go not to Zoom here. I'm gonna go to screen recording here, so you guys can see Pro Tools. Let's do that. All right. And then too, I got some notes. You guys. So I had the submission form for submitting your mix and all that instead of just the email. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of that. And it's kind of cool because also you guys are giving me notes as well. So that's good. Hey, Corey. Thanks, man. Glad to know. Sounds good. I definitely have a distressor plug-in and a... what's up, dude? From Oklahoma. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I have a distressor and a Pultec on here. Just trying to make things sound a little better. Let's see here. So, Corey, you're first up, man. The other thing I was going to ask you guys, so there's little notes, what you want me to focus on while we're listening. I kind of feel like I'll read those. So from what Corey said, just he's working on a mastering chain and trying to get it a little more transparent, less compressed, and to keep the dynamics more present. And then just to see what I think and everything on the mix in general. So let's check out Corey's mix. Let me know about the level coming out of Pro Tools here. So just let me know if it's too loud or whatnot. So I feel like the bass could come up a little bit in the actual mix. And when it started, it was a little bit bright. Like I feel like there's a lot of top end on the guitar. Or I don't know. I don't know if it's the compression or yeah, the guitars are brighter for sure, like that lead part. What's up? What's up, Nev or Neve or Nevie? I need to know how to say your name or your nickname, that is. But the vocals are in a good spot. I mean, it's pretty okay, the bass isn't. I'm actually liking the bass placement more than I did a minute ago. What's up, Lost Highway? How you doing, man? That's cool, Mickey. I'll bump you up to the second there. I'm gonna just flip to my mix. Mine's pretty bright too. So I think one of the things is a little overdid. Yeah, so it's an exciter on the track. That's what I'm hearing, I guess. The drums are a little thin, or maybe it's just the top end. But I guess in comparison to it's beat my mix, but I feel like my drums have more body on them. But yours are punchy. Overall, it's a good balance. Hey. I'm still trying to get my balance right. Could be a couple dB higher. All right, thanks, man. Is my voice too loud in comparison as well? So I'm just gonna thank you. Let's go. Okay. Everyone's got an opinion. Like, all right. Well, let me know now if it's too loud. The balance of everything sounds good. I've got more to give. Thank you. And I've got more to give. And I've got more to give. And I've got more. It sounds good. It does. To love you. Oh, okay. All right. So. It's a good blend, man. Cool. Yeah, it sounds good, Corey. I think, for me, it would be the snare drum. Just, I don't know. It maybe reading the note for me. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it sounds a little bit like, I don't know if it's a little compressed or what. Like it's not crazy over compressed. Yeah, just a little thin. Did you do? So it sounds like he did parallel compression and all the stuff. But yeah, I think. I mean, I never thought you'd be the girl I marry. Yeah, it does. It sounds good. It's a good mix. I guess I mix things darker. That's something else I noticed. So that's just me. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong or, I like how yours sounds. Mine kind of starts to sound like there's a blanket on it. It's definitely more top end. But yeah, good job, man. I mean, it sounds good. So, all right, let's see. Did parallel compression on the drums, a drum exciter. Yeah, that might be what I'm hearing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly sensitive to top end, and that's just a me problem. So, let's move on to Mickey. That's good. So parallel compression, and then did you add triggers as well, like a snare trigger? I don't think I put triggers in the session. The kick drum sounds good. A little too much cymbals. I don't know if it's the hi-hat mic or the overheads. I gotta apologize to you guys about the way the vocals were labeled and not labeled, and I had two vocal mics. I went a little bananas. Really, I was trying out the FET 47 in comparison to the SM7. Okay, snare trigger. Yeah, subtle. Okay, cool. I mean, it was a good mix, Corey. Yeah, I think the exciter and all that stuff. Like, I don't use an exciter now. I'm not. That doesn't mean anything. It's just that's not. I've never really found one that I want to use, but that's just me, right? I liked. There was things I liked about your mix, and then going back to my mix, it also sounded. It just sounded like somebody threw a blanket on it because there was a lot of top end, and it was I don't know, it was a good mix. So, yeah, I feel like I heard a little bit more of the snare, but I'm kind of a trigger Nazi when it comes to like hearing too much of the actual samples and whatnot. The kick drum I couldn't really tell too much, but the snare I heard a little bit of that. But that's just my own personal taste. It's not right or wrong. So yeah, it's a good balance there, Mickey. Just the cymbals or the hi-hat is loud. I'd like to hear more of the floor tom. Like he's doing an eighth note pattern or something. Let's see if I have any of that going. Kinda. It's kind of hard to mix in to get those little where he's not like he's hitting the first beat of the tom hard, and then the rest of it's not as aggressive, so it's kind of hard to bring that stuff out. I mean, it's there. I wouldn't mind the vocals being a little bit louder. If I was paying you to mix, what I would say is, hey man, could you bring down the hi-hat and then bring up the vocals just maybe 2 or 3 dB. That lead guitar could come up a little bit, or that picking pattern. Now, and there's extra rhythm guitars going on, like live. The other 2 guitar players, they come up and they start playing that little arpeggiated part, and so their rhythm guitars drop out. Now, we did a thing where we had the rhythm guitars underneath, like we track that, but in reality, that's not there when we play live. But my point in saying that, for me, I actually went and muted those because, like, the rhythm guitars underneath their picking parts, just because it's just too much going on. Yeah, it's just, for me, it's the cymbals. But overall, it's a good balance. It sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the balance. A little more vocal, less hi-hat. Now, my other question is, the hi-hat doesn't sound harsh, but are you compressing the hi-hat, or is it into a parallel drum bus where are you sending hi-hat, or even the overheads? Like, so there was a lot of room mics. I wonder about that. I said it was intentionally because yeah. Thanks. Yeah. It's nice and full and wide. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing too, where it's like I kind of tried to do a track overview with this song on YouTube, but there's so much. And when I recorded this song, I wasn't thinking I'm gonna put this out for the world to. I was just recording my band and filling in things, and I had them labeled where I would understand. But then when I exported all this crap into a fresh Pro Tools session, and for me, the vocals, that was a mess. And that's another question for you guys that are in the chat. When it comes to this stuff, do you want me to give you everything, or do you want stems? Like, I could have bounced down some of the vocals to stems, or I need to do a better job of just labeling things. But, and maybe too, like that guitar part I'm talking about, I cut it out of my mix. Like when they go to the lead part in the second half of the chorus, I cut it out. Should I have done that for you guys too? Like, just made it where it's like you guys are playing with exactly the same tracks I am. How, like, that's more of a production decision than it was like a mix decision. I mean, sometimes that's a mixed decision, but anyway. I feel like I heard a little bit of distortion, but I don't. Like on the right side, let me know if that's some kind of digital distortion, like something's clipping in the mix bus or your master. It's an interesting reverb you got going there. Sounds good, man. I was just looking at your notes to see if there was something to focus on. Corey, I think you did a great job. You automated up the the vocal effects. That's pretty cool, Mickey. Corey, man, I think you did a great job for your first, like, if this is a new thing of mixing. Okay, cool. Yeah. I love doing the amp vocal thing. But yeah, Corey, I mean, you're on the right track, man. Like, just keep going, keep practicing. You're doing good. I'm reading what you're saying, Mickey. So you didn't put a comp on the hi-hat track, but you ran a hard comp bus and a non-comp bus, and then those go into a summing bus. And you're doing some analog stuff too. The overhead tracks are probably the culprit. Yeah, that's like when I do parallel compression or whatever. Yeah, like I have to do. I mean, obviously, I have sends that are pre-fader, and then I make a blend, and the overheads and the room mics, I really have to be careful. Also, like the room mics, I already compress those, so sometimes they're not going too hard into the actual the drum crush bus. So the next one is Henning. No samples on the drums. Yeah, I missed that part. You put no samples on it. Let's see. I just want to hear it again. Yeah, I think it's just somewhere in the compression. That's what I would work on. So, drum compression, and then whatever that is, hi-hats, overheads. I don't know. All right, so Henning. Let's see, and I've got it. I know he sent me a note, so I kind of here he is. Didn't have a lot of time. This is the Henning recorded last week with I think it was a jazz bass. Fat person. Yeah, and the compression. I have a love-hate relationship with compressing overheads. Like, I will do it, but you got to be careful with that. And then too, how for me, it's how I send them to the drum bus, like the drum crush bus, because that definitely can get away from you. So this is Henning, and he said he didn't really have a lot of time to work on the song. That's another so I think I asked last week. So 1 week between when the tracks come out and then doing the mix submission. If you guys still like that, let me know. I don't know when the next Beat My Mix is going to be. I think it will be. I mean, we did two this month, so I think next month there will be another one. P bass. P bass. Hey man. All right, cool. So this is you, I guess. I love bussing stuff out. But out of respect for the bass player, he didn't record bass again. That's cool. My bass player wouldn't care, but that was fun. So that was cool. So you asked basically if the overheads they felt kind of distorted, and yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the individual tracks. I didn't hear that, but let's take a listen to your mix. It's good balance. Henning, you like to have the vocals more dry, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was a P bass, I think.
I never thought you'd be a girl I'd marry. I always thought you were kind of crazy.
Huh. I kind of like the dry vocal. Just the lead guitar up a little bit, or the picking. You threw a Geo lick in there. That's cool. I kind of like where the vocal sits. I feel like the toms could be coming out a little bit more. It sounds good though. Nice. This is kind of the closest this band gets to punk rock. He said he mixes punk and hardcore. I can see that. So I think if it was me, I'd have the guitars up a little bit more. There's a little bit of clipping. I don't know if that was just the master or if it's in the song or whatnot. Yeah, a P bass would sound really good on this song. Huh. That's cool. You got the stereo vocal thing going. That was interesting. What'd you do on that? It sounds like there's some kind of effect. Like a little bit of room. Yeah. It's cool. Really? Okay. I mean, that sounds good. I like it. I like the mix. Almost sound like a telephone effect a little bit. It's a cool mix. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's a spin on it compared to what I do.
to lose you.
Mine sounds like it's through it. It's so weird to compare my mix to your guys' mixes. Makes me question my life.
The first time
I feel like mine are more boomy,
I
and
saw you.
I'm just maybe adding too much low end.
Top and skinny jeans on you. I couldn't
Nice.
speak or think.
Yeah, man, like it's growing on me as it goes, like the dry vocal thing. So I mix at a church. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I mean, that's part of being a mixer, right? Is just cutting things, especially duplicates. There were so many fucking vocals. I apologize for that. Yeah. So I'm gonna vet the tracks a little better before I put them in the folder for Beat My Mix next. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Let's see here. All right, so I got Marco from Italy. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to look at Marco too, just to see. I know he left me a note. So he's more focused on frequency balance of the mix. He doesn't, obviously he's not quite sure about how his mixes are going to translate. I think last week that was a different thing. It was so many tracks, way too many. Yeah, once I imported everything into Pro Tools and I was out of my mix session, like kind of starting from scratch, I really felt bad for you guys, and it's like, man, I screwed this up. Yeah, that's the right way to go, is just, oh yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, there was duplicates, all sorts of stuff, so that's just messy on my part. So I got to think about that stuff more. So Marco, he's just wondering how his mix is going to translate. And then, yeah, he's in Italy, so he'll watch it tomorrow.
I remember the lunchroom in high school. Remember when
I'm trying
you were
to...
barefoot in the school?
There's a symbol thing going on. It's almost like he added something.
Thought you'd be
Thanks, man.
I'd marry.
I appreciate you all of you guys submitting a mix.
Kinda crazy.
You did a good job. Everyone so far has done a great job.
I'd do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
Marco, I feel like this is better than the mix you for last week for the old bus stop. I'm trying to figure out. I think the hi-hat, I guess it's the drum balance, and it feels like there's a sample that's a little funky. Yeah. A lot of guitars. I feel like there's some weird compression. Something's going on in the drums. I can't, if you guys could put your finger on what's happening with it. That's the main thing, Marco, that I'm kind of hearing, is like the drum balance is a little bit weird. Either something's somewhere in the cymbals, the room mics, or the hi-hat, something's too loud. You just got to work on the balance there. And then, I don't know. It sounds like there's a weird trigger going on or something. Phasing issues. Did you guys have to play with the phase, like, of the drums and all that? That is what it sounds like. It does sound like phase is kind of something going on. Hi-hat sample, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Phase problem. But as a question, I try to do my best to make sure all the drums are in phase and the kick drums are aligned and the snare drums are aligned and they're aligned with the overheads and all that stuff. Did you guys? Okay. What did you just? If you just elaborate, if what was out of phase? Was it just kind of here in the snare? So on the snare drum, and actually I had two snare drum mics and then a bottom, like two top mics and then the bottom mic. So you're saying the snare drums were out of phase? It is part of the gig. I guess so there's a couple things that I feel like could be happening. One, all of these drums are, so what I do is we track the stuff and then I don't quantize, like I push the button but I'll put everything in phase and then I go in, I use Warp and Pro Tools and every kick and snare and the toms are edited onto the grid. Like I don't grid hi-hats and all that crap, but there are times like if there was a flam or something like that, I kind of have to, and I do that with all the, I'll select all and I'll just move the kick to where the kick is supposed to be on the grid. The snare, same thing. I edit the drums. That's just something I've learned to do in the last, 5 years. But I think that can mess up phasing, but I guess the question is to you guys, was it moments where it was out of phase or was it like the whole song was out of phase? Like, or there was section, like you had to flip the phase and that fixed it or line stuff up. I'm just, because there's something weird that happens too with like Beat Detective or whatever it is in Pro Tools. Yeah. Mickey's just talking about the perfect phasing and through. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard a lot about auto align and then used all pass on the rooms. Interesting. So I guess you could tell a difference between when without auto align. I guess there was phasing issues in that. I mean, there was a lot of mics on this. I went kind of bananas. All right. Well, maybe I might have to try auto align or the drum gate thing, just because I'm doing it by eye. I'm eyeballing it, and yeah, I've heard a couple times now that stuff is out of phase, and that's not cool. That makes it harder to mix for sure. Huh. Yeah, Marco, there's a weird sample going on there, but overall this section sounds pretty good. And the sample, I think the sample sounds out of phase. So on the kick and snare, I don't know if you can drop links, but in the comments, but go for it if you can on the Eric Valentine video. I actually like how I can hear the toms well. I think that sample is, I don't know, it's a little weird for, I try to be nice. I'm not a big fan of the sample, whatever that thing is, and it's being triggered in a weird way. Drum gate 2, so, It sounds like a gate thing, but it does phase 2. This sounds good, Marco. Yeah. That snare trigger is a little much. But overall, everything else sounds pretty good. I like where the bass is. Now we get to hear. Cool. It's getting better, Marco. I mean, keep going, man. Just I would be careful with the samples, or trying to figure out. I don't know exactly why. I guess what you were going for with that one as far as a sample, but I've beat up on that enough. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but that's the one thing where for me, my ear was just drawn to that the whole time. So I think sometimes with Beat My Mix, it's more like the mixes are just good. But then a lot of times what I find is balancing is the hardest part. And then two, making it where something isn't overly distracting, like a snare trigger or a hi-hat or whatever. It's, so to me, it's just balance and then kind of, I don't know. I think the trigger might have been out of phase as part of the problem. So let's see. The next one is going to be Andre, who that dude has been doing Beat My Mix for a long time. Charges $2 a video and valuable stuff in there. Okay. All right. The Eric Valentine stuff. $2 a video. That's actually still really cheap. Are you like, is that a joke? Overall balance. So for Andre's been doing Beat My Mix since I think I started doing it back in like 2022, and he used to do it back then. And he's not going to be on the stream. He'll see it tomorrow. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, email it to me. And I'll try to drop it in the comments. I believe I can put links in the comments. So Andre. So let's hear what Andre had to do. His mix. Andre, I think the bass is good. That was one of the things he was worried about. It could come up a little bit. The drums sound good, good balance. All right, I'll check my email. I like where the guitars are. Mine just sounds muffled. It's a good balance. I feel like Andre references my mix a lot. I'm grabbing that link. Let's see. I feel like Andre really references my actual mix a good bit while he's listening. Just I think more for the balance. So let's see if this works. There's that link. I like the balance on the guitars and all that. Everything, it sounds good. Even the bass is good. For me, the top end is, I don't know. These headphones are also really bright. I have the slate ones. I don't know. I mean, I could try those on just to see like this. I reference in these headphones, but they aren't like, I mix. I have a blend of how I mix. I've got two sets of speakers, these headphones, and the Slate VSX, and I don't know. The top end just sounds a little. I don't know. The top end's bothering me tonight on a lot of things. I'm going to try my other headphones. I'm just wondering if it's me or what. Check. All right. Let's see what
it's like to lose. I've got more to give.
Yeah, those headphones are
I've got
just
more
super
to
bright.
give.
And my
More to give. And I've got more to give. And I've got what it's like to lose you. And I don't wanna feel the way I do when you're not
yeah,
with me.
these are speakers.
I don't wanna feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like.
Yeah, it does sound good.
I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
It's a good balance. Just want to hear this. Yeah, it's a good mix, man. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, the bass I think is fine. It could maybe come up a little bit, but overall, I think it's a good mix. Yeah, it has its own, yeah, everything. It's well balanced, and Andre's pretty good at what he does. It's a good mix. So next we have. Well, let's see. Is Neve? Are you still on here, or Nevey? I know you were on here at some point. So, or Robert, are you here as well? I guess we'll go with Nevey. Let's see.
I remember the lunchroom in high school. Remember when you
So there's something weird going on with the guitars. I don't know if it's the top end is cut off.
in high school. Remember when you were barefoot in the school? I never thought you'd be the girl I'd marry. I always thought you were kinda crazy. And I don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
So maybe this is another phase thing with the drums. I mean, when I just brought up my faders, they didn't sound out of phase, but
What it's like to lose you.
I feel like it's a balanced thing right now. The guitars, there's something going on in the EQ with the guitars. I know there's a lot of guitars, but whatever's happening with the EQ and the guitars it's weird, or it's, I don't know, it's not helping, I guess I would say.
When you're not with me, and I don't wanna feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like. And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you. And I remember the first time I saw you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's balance issues, like the drums aren't punching, they're not coming through. And it almost sounds like it sounds like phase, plus it sounds like almost like 500s being added into the drums. They just sound boxy to me.
Speak or think.
Everything kind of sounds a little boxy.
I didn't know what to do. And I don't wanna feel the way I do without
Oh
you.
boy.
And I don't wanna know.
That's a good question. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's some kind of sound effect. So you're asking, how does each instrument achieve space, or like that, about achieving that space for each instrument. I mean, I wish I had like a solid, just like, this is how you would do that. I mean, anyone who downloaded this song knows there's a lot of tracks, and it will get muddy. And I think that's part of what's happening here.
To lose you.
For me, I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is that it starts with the balance. It starts with making the drums sound like how I'd like to hear the drums in the room, and just doing the volumes before I start touching EQ. And I mean, for me with the drums, how I think I would add space, or, you know, sometimes there's adding reverb and things like that. But it's usually parallel compression and EQ, and then two, doing EQ that's like subtractive usually before adding, you know, like with guitars and stuff like that. Making space for the bass, like, I mean, like, let's say for like the overheads, you know, I go up to about 80 hertz with like a low cut. Like, you're cutting out things that aren't necessarily needed. I mean, like, I know that sometimes on the internet, that philosophy, people fight that philosophy. Like, you shouldn't high cut or low cut everything or whatever it is. You shouldn't use high pass filters all the time. But to me, that's part of the game. Is that would be how you could kind of create some clarity. And then for the guitars, I'm usually like at 1.6K, somewhere in that range. But things don't really start to come alive for me so I have the balance, and then I start doing the whole parallel compression thing on the drums. And then there's some mix bus things that I have that are just pretty much set for every mix. But the more I do this, the more I question some of those things. But to me, this mix is just phasing and then some weird EQ stuff. The balance itself, like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just there's some weird things going on in your processing. A lot of times people do too much.
And I've got more to give. And I've got more to give.
It's an interesting reverb
And I've
on the
got
voice.
more to give. To thank you. And I've got more to give. And I've got more to give. And I've got more to give. To love you. And
Sounds
I
pretty
wanna
good.
feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you. And I don't wanna feel
Yeah.
the way I do when you're not with me. I don't wanna feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like. And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
Yeah. No. So I think we're all doing what sounds good to us, right? One of the things I would say with plugins, like the most powerful button on a plugin sometimes can be bypass. And I think as a mixer, especially if I'm doing other people's music, it's that doctor's oath thing, like do no harm. Is it helping it? Oh yeah, imposter syndrome. Yeah, man. Like you guys ever watch the Studio Loser guy, Recording Studio Loser? The guy owns a studio in Indiana. He's pretty cool. I like his channel, and even that guy talks about it. He's got a commercial studio and all that stuff. But there's times where, as a sound man or a mixer, you're just gonna be like, I suck at this. You know, it's just part of the thing. And Nevi, I'm not trying to pick on you, man. I'm just giving feedback. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not throwing shade or anything like that. We're just, you know, we all need feedback. I'm trying to diagnose what I hear that's going on in your mix.
I don't wanna feel the
But I would just, get your volume balance. The balance isn't too bad. It's not bad. But there's some EQ things and some phase stuff happening. There's something going on that, like, I mean, for those of you in the chat, you got, like, I feel like the song sounded pretty good, like, overall from the start. Like, there was a lot of tracks. There's way too many tracks. And yeah, I guess the drums needed some help with phase. But I think if you just put the faders up and do a balance of the mix of the song, then I think it's at a good start. It doesn't need, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to go. And that's the thing too. I think people, like, we get plugins and then it's like, we've got to use, we need to use that thing to justify the cost or whatever. And I think sometimes just bypass it. So Mickey, you say mix reference playlist that you use to make sure you're low end. Yeah, that's a great thing too. Reference tracks. Yeah, that's when I'm doing my best thing, my best work, it's usually because I have reference tracks going that I'm listening to. Stuff that I like the sound of, that I want my mix to sound like, or at least the balance of it, the bass, whatever, so. But keep going, man. Keep going, Nevy. Thank you for, submitting a mix. And yeah, just shoot me an email and just kind of let me know, your process for your EQ, and just what's going on with your mix bus, all that. So we've got, let's see, we got Robert and Dylan, and I think that's it. This was actually a lot easier doing this whole form thing. I also enjoy that you guys gave me some comments and things like that, what to listen for. So that's very cool. Room reverb, okay, isn't working. Yeah, I mean, that might be what it is. Like, it would be interesting to hear. Like, for me, I have questions. Like, he's not in the chat, but I have questions about what is he putting on his bus? What's going on? He's going to watch this and he'll have some answers. I want to know more about his process, and and then it's kind of like, okay, so how can we fix it? Where are we going wrong? So, all right, here's Robert. I think part of what we're hearing when stuff is not quite right is overcompression. And then when you have too much, like, I feel like right now there's some compression stuff going on. And then when you overcompress stuff, your EQ gets just amplified. So it's like, or dramatized, like whatever you did in EQ, once you put it into a compressor, then it's just going to make, if you're adding top end or any of that. All good, man. Thank you for hanging out, Corey. Thank you for submitting a mix. So yeah, I think in April we'll be doing this again at some point. I work at a church, so it's Easter. But anyways, thanks, Corey. Yeah, so we'll see. Do we mix for the other engineers or a listener to enjoy the song? People care less than we might think if a song is good. A bit. Oh yeah, the EQ thing is like, no one's gonna listen outside of people who mix music. No one's gonna listen to this stuff and be like, "There's too much 4K," or "They overcompressed the drums," or "I can hear the trigger." Most people don't know what a trigger is that are listening to this stuff. So I mean, it's just about, making a mix that sounds good to you. It's your ear. You're welcome, Corey. But yeah, that's a great point. We're not mixing for other mix engineers.
I always thought you were kinda crazy.
I like the snare drum. I like the kind of telephone effect. The vocals came in very cool.
And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you. And I don't wanna feel the way I do when you're not with me. And I don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
I feel like the hi-hat could come down and the overheads could maybe be more featured.
And I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
Yeah, just the hi-hat.
I remember the first time I saw you. A red tank top and skinny jeans on you.
What's funny, I mean I hear it in the raw tracks, but my drummer was tapping the hi-hat during that tom part, and I heard it and it was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let it happen, but like I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's do it again without doing that, because it kind of there was something weird happening with that, and but now I hear it more just with the drums being compressed.
I didn't know
It's interesting.
what to do. And I don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
Robert, so I don't know if it's compression. I don't like compressing the overheads, the top end, all that stuff. When it comes to the cymbals, I'd be careful with how hard you're pushing that into compression, whether you're compressing on the overheads directly or the room mics or whatever, or, you know, everyone wants to squash the room mics. Like that's the fun internet thing to do. And you just have to be careful with how sizzly or compressed they will sound, and then how much they're blended in. So I feel like room mics, hi-hat, overheads, like I would work on that balance, and then to what you're doing with compression. Just my thought. But it sounds pretty good.
I don't wanna feel the way I do without you. I don't wanna know what it's like. And I don't wanna know.
I feel like mine is bass heavy.
I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
I like the tom.
And I've got
The
more
low
to
tom
give.
sounds good.
And I've got more to give. And I've got more to give.
Yeah, man.
To thank you. And I've got more to give.
I like the
I've
vibe.
got more to give.
Sounds like there's some cool
I've got
bass
more
distortion,
to give. To love you.
or you amplified that, which is
I
cool.
don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
Yeah, I like the attack on the
I
toms.
don't wanna know what it's like to lose you. And I don't wanna feel the way I do when you're not with me. I don't
Nice.
wanna feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's
I feel like there's some grit added on the guitars or
I don't wanna know what it's like
something.
to lose you.
It feels like the top end of the guitars, and then kind of the highs. There's something.
And I don't wanna know what it's
They
like.
just sound muffled to me. Okay, tape saturation, maybe. All right. I mean, the balance overall is good. I would just work on how you treat the overheads and the, all the cymbal stuff, all the cymbal work, with compression and all that jazz. But yeah, maybe it's tape saturation, compression. There's just a lot going on and the guitars somehow kind of sound muffled to me. But anyway, good mix, man. Thank you for submitting a mix, Robert. So we'll go to Dylan, and then that's it for tonight as far as mixes go. So you thought what the bass sound? It was the bass that had the. Oh yeah, there was. So the other thing is, there was supposed to be 2 clean bass tracks, like an amp and a DI, and then there was supposed to be 2 like a mic'd up. We had the normal clean tone, and then we had a rumble mic'd up as well. Were those tracks distorted for you guys? Like all of them? They weren't like they all had distortion on them, not like. Like, I don't know. When I was opening the tracks in the other Pro Tools session that wasn't my mix, I was like, are all of these dirty? Because I thought I gave you guys clean tracks. I'm just interested to know if that was, if you guys even had a clean bass track or if it was just the rumble sounds, the distorted sound. Huh. But there was a clean track. Outside of the rumble. 4 tracks. Yep, there's 4 tracks. Producer, what's your first name? Like, if you did you submit a mix? It would be interesting to know. Sorry, I just don't know everyone's name yet by their YouTube handle. Okay. All right, I'm gonna move to Dylan's mix. And it sounds like top ends rolled off to me.
I remember the lunchroom in high school. Remember when you
Oh,
were
no worries, man.
in the school.
What's up, Robbie?
I never thought you'd be the girl I'd marry. I always thought you were
It's a good balance.
crazy. I don't wanna feel the way
Cool.
I do without you. I don't wanna know
You're welcome
what it's
to send me a mix
to lose you.
to my email if you want, and I'll give you some feedback
I don't wanna feel
if you want that.
I do when you're not with me. I don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
I think the balance is pretty good.
I don't wanna know what it's like.
I just
I don't wanna know what it's like to lose you.
were the guitars boxy for you guys, like overall? Because I feel like there's
I don't wanna know what it's like.
some kind of boxy thing happening in 500. Maybe it's over the whole mix.
I remember the first time.
I would have had the hi-hat down just a little bit. It's a taste thing.
Red tank top and skinny jeans on you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys for being on the live stream
Think
and mixing the song, taking the time to mix the song.
I didn't know what to do. And I don't wanna feel the way I do without you.
I like the mix, the balance.
I know what it's like to lose you. And I don't wanna feel the way
Okay, so low, mid, heavy.
you're not with me.
So I think my critique of the guitars on a lot of these songs is we usually track with too much gain, and then they're not bright enough. That's the thing for the next batch of songs that we're going to be recording. That I want to take off some of the distortion pedals. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's see. Do. That's actually a great idea.
And I don't wanna feel the way I do without you. And I don't wanna know what it's like
like this area. This sounds pretty good. Hear that damn hi-hat pedal? That's not you guys, that's just the way it was recorded. It's true. Yeah, it's it is more gain. You can hide more behind the gain. It's somewhere in there, which it's a big range. Sounds pretty good though. It's rolled off there at the top end there. Maybe a tape plug-in or something. But yeah, less gain on the guitars next time for me for tracking. It's overall a decent balance. Pretty good. Just less hi-hat, less sizzle on that hi-hat. Cool. Well, that's the mixes that we got. So, yep, I think next time will be one song. I'm tempted to pull up. There's a song. I'm trying to figure out what's the next beat my mix is going to be. We're in the... Yeah, good job, Dylan. Good job to everybody. Thank you guys so much for, coming out. And I know it takes a lot of time to do this. And then just to have some guy on the internet, give you... kind of almost be looking for the negative things. That's not really my goal. Like if it's great, I want to say it's great, like I want to give praise and all that stuff. I'm not just here to throw shade at people or anything, but hopefully, we can all get better together. And I mean, you guys are helping me get better. Like, even just talking about the guitars, the phase, all the things, that's gonna, and then too, the way I'm organizing these sessions that I'm giving you guys, the tracks that I'm giving you guys. So I'm going to try to do better with that. And then, I think we're going to brighten up the guitars when we record and, feedback. That's right. That's what this is for, is feedback. I mean, this, I don't mean this to sound like anything, like I'm bragging, but this is what I get paid to listen. That's what I'm a sound man. I get, I get paid to mix. That's what I do. So I'm going to be much more like critical or when the balance isn't right, I'm going to notice it pretty well. I mean, and that's the thing I can really focus on. Sometimes the whole idea of like what the EQ is, but yeah, it's just, we're all trying to learn how to like balance music and mix this stuff and all the tricks and all that stuff. So, you're giving your music to people that are kind of like, they're trained to listen, or they're trying to train themselves to listen. And so, I don't know, that takes courage. It takes courage to submit something that you probably spent 2 or 3 hours doing at least, and just have somebody give you, just tell you what's wrong with it. So overall, the mixes today were good, last week I was really surprised with a lot of the mixes in a good way, because when I used to do Beat My Mix, there was a lot of issues. And for the most part, I think the thing that people are having the hardest time with, not everybody, but there's too much processing. And like, I don't think I think we're just doing stuff and not questioning whether or not it's helping. I think we need to do the doctor thing and do no harm. And then I appreciate that about, having other people mix, I love doing I love doing this just because for me, these are like this song I wrote. It's about my wife. I've been with my wife since we were 17. I was 17. She was 16. And this is the song of us in high school. But just kind of the story of it all. But I write this stuff and then and then we go into the band and we jam it and write it together and arrange it and all the stuff. And I'm very close to this stuff. What would be fun, there is going to be a thing eventually where if you guys are doing if you were in a band or doing recording, then it would be cool to have you guys basically submit music for us to mix, for the community to do it. It is fun. And I mean, like, the community of it all is really what makes it cool. But yeah, it's good for me because I'm so wrapped up in it, like writing it, recording it. I'm doing all the shit. And I don't say that as a flex. It's just a lot. And so the other part is if I found somebody to mix this stuff, that would be cool. Squeeze the juice out of a track. Requires process. If appropriate, require. I think most people under process. That's interesting. Holler at your boy. He just said, basically squeeze the juice out of a track. Some people under process. And I could see that too. Interesting. Yeah, no, it's cool. It is fun to see how other people track. But all that to say, one of my points was, if you guys are working on music, especially if it's multi-track recording, like you're recording drums or all that stuff, I would say even if you aren't, but I mean, I think that's part of the fun, is actually trying to make a real drum set sound good. So that's where it's like, one day I would like to have other people's, not just my music, people in the community and whatnot. We mix, everybody takes a shot and tries to beat their mix. But yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Just everybody's got a different opinion. And just from these mixes, we all think we all have our own version of what sounds good to us. So, yeah. Yep. So anyways, thank you guys. So yeah, I got to figure out what the next Beat My Mix song is. There's a lot of songs. You guys can also let me know in the comments or an email at homestudiorescue@gmail.com. Do you guys want, I've got recordings from bands that, I didn't record the drums and they really weren't great. And I'm not saying every time I do that they're great, but just that I have recordings from a wide range. I have tracks. There's a band that I work with called The Milestones. They went to Blackbird in Nashville. We have, they've always let me, they'll let me use their tracks for Beat My Mix if you want. And then, do you guys want harder stuff to mix than this, or you just tell me? So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll shut up now, stop rambling. And, it's been a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be in touch. It'll probably be sometime after Easter, just because that's going to be insane. But in April, there's going to be another Beat My Mix. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for